Hey guys, let's do a closing market update. I was just looking at high yield. I think, I just signaled in the active trader room to take some profits here. But this is acting pretty toppy. This was a good call that we had. All right, so I've said in a few videos, and we talked about in the live room, that I thought the high yield market was starting to roll over. This monthly cycle turned within the last, really, since September. The monthly cycle crossed. And then if you take a look at this entire move down, guys, and look about halfway of that move is right where the market failed. So we were talking about maybe even if you push all the way back to 90, you want to be a better seller and you want to work a core long-term short. So it's a little harder to do than, it's easier said than done sometimes. But as some of you are learning how we work positions, and then you just do this on the daily and weekly level. But we've been just several times this year, we've been putting puts back out, and then we keep getting rewarded. So we're still making higher lows for the high yield market, but with oil being down almost 4% today, you expect this high yield market to be getting hit, and that's what we have. But you're down 2 weeks here from the highs. We're at the bottom of the cycle. You're oversold into the bottom of the band, so you need to book some gains. But we're going to keep playing this from the short side. So from here, you get a 2 to 3 day reaction, oversold relieving bounce. You want to be a seller. If that's back probably in front of 87, I wouldn't be surprised if we make a lower high. And then to really see the pressure in this market, you got to take out kind of 85. And you probably need oil to start making some lower lows also. But we've had a good call. We've been short. I covered some today with some puts out there, and I'm still core short, and I want to keep selling rallies here on oil. I think we probably double topped here longer term into 52. That was right in line with the long term downtrend. Okay, the upper bands, we failed there earlier in the year, and then we just did it again, obviously, last week. So looks like we're still in a bearish long-term downtrend for oil. So keep playing that, selling rallies on the hourly and 4 hour. So I'll keep you posted there. We can look at nat gas. I haven't really. We had a long. Probably need to be a little bit more active here. This was a nice bottoming tail. You popped back. Last time we got long was in September. So we'll see. I'm in no rush. If we get back, the closer we get towards 2.5 down here, back towards pi, I'll be a buyer. All right, and then some of the other commodity names today. Copper's had a pretty good bounce. It's back to this 2.25 level, 220, where it keeps struggling. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 day rally. You're back at the top of the daily cycle. I'm just waiting for this to cross to short some more, but we're short from about, I think, 216, 217. But that one's looking pretty juicy. Long term, it's still bearish until we get, you would have to get all the way above 235 to signal a move, a bigger picture move, maybe back to 280. But right now, we're just still making long term lower highs on copper. The gold market just bouncing around, but it's back making higher highs on the hourly, so you can see how bullish this is. Price is in the northern hemisphere now. It's above pi. It's above the 200. We probably should have bought this dip this morning back here towards the bands. I just missed it. I was waiting for something back down here towards 1265, 1270, but still core long there. And then similar with bonds, the 30-year, I just punched a little bit out this morning to kind of to pay the bond gods because our average position's out of the money, so I want this to go higher. But in line with the cycle, my next move, we cycle back down, I'll rebuy. So we'll trade around this core position. But you guys know I like this longer term to hold here in front of all these lows from earlier in the year. So we're still in a long-term bull market for the long end of the treasury market. And then I did sell some fives, and so I like playing a flattener, selling fives versus our long position in 30s. So we had nice covers last week, and I just put some more back out today on the short side. But kind of in the middle of the range. This is really the better spot to sell, is up here towards 21.05. And then, up here we were short 15 contracts, got down to as light as just short 2. Now I'm back short 6, so I'll triple my position between here and here, so you guys can continue to follow along and kind of notice the art of how we do that. But that's the game plan on fives. Currency markets. Dollar looks good. Maybe it pulls back a little bit more, but we want to be a buyer in the dollar. So I like dollar long, I like gold long, and those two you kind of trade off each other, but it's tough for both those positions to go down at the same time. The reverse is true of the euro. I resold some Friday, covered this morning. Now the next move will probably be to reshort again. All right, you can watch this 4-hour cycle come back up. All right, maybe timing-wise, it might be better to sell into tomorrow or the next. But the way we're playing this one is you see how the bands were really tight here, and then we fanned out. So we're in a new downtrend. And this was the intermediate term move. We stayed on the 8. Did break above the 8 on Friday, so maybe we get the move back here towards 111. That's where I want most of my size on. So we were pretty short here, covered, and now I'm just going to put some back out, but we're being patient. Let's see. All the other euro pairs are pretty much the same today. They're under some pressure. This is a pretty decent sized position for me, euro versus cable. All right, so I sold a decent chunk in here last week. I covered some. I'm just out of the money. This is a long-term core position that we're building short, and I want to be trading this around for a while. I just think that the next longer-term move on euro versus the pound is back down. So we'll see. The daily hasn't finished cycling up yet, but we're trying to establish a core short in here. And you guys can kind of see the rhythm to how we've been short, cover, short, cover, short, cover, short, cover, short, cover. So that's how we get our average up closer to the market. So when we do, if and when we do roll over, we're going to realize some nice gains on this one. But we had to work it a little bit because I was a little early, which I tend to be. You just got to know yourself as a trader, right? You know thyself, and sometimes I'm usually pretty early. So instead of fighting that, you just be aware of it, and then that's why I usually start my trades. I'm a little bit more frequent trader. I'm not afraid to pull the trigger, but I do keep my size pretty light, usually when I'm just starting a position. And the other thing that was pretty big last week, keep talking about dollar yen. I think it wants to break higher. We're still waiting for a close above 105. Last week we didn't quite achieve that, but we were flirting with it. So we'll just keep an eye there. But I like how all these lower highs are here, and now we're trying to make new higher highs. So that one looks pretty good. We were long here, we bought some more here. So let's see, it'd be nice if we could move to 109 or so. Alright guys, other than that, I mean, it's kind of a sluggish Monday as far as the price action was really quiet this morning, pretty sluggish. So maybe we'll get some more action in the morning. Alright guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow.